Oh, dear. Okay, YouTube, we are live. I do not know why I am like in a square box instead of landscaping. Everything is new on StreamYard. So I will try to see if I can fix this. If not, you can still see me. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right into this because well, it's been about 2 months, maybe 3 months, a quarter since I've been on, and I dip in and I dip out, but this time I am here to stay for a while. So I want to jump right into tonight's topic. Forgive me if I am rusty because it has been a while and everything on my interface is kind of different. I did a little run through, but it's still kind of new. Hey, love for all. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sporting a new look. This is the new chapter for me. And I'm going to talk about that further down the road, just about reinventing yourself, especially as moms, as homeschooling moms. That's all we wear is mom, homeschooler, educator. And sometimes we forget that we are women as well. So, I think today I'm going to be in a square box here until I figure out how to go landscaping. Hey, plan to change. I'm seeing all of my veterans coming through. Thank you so much, guys. That really does mean a lot to me. Hassan, I have to say your name in a very high pitched key of C or key of A for you. It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. Okay, so this will be about an hour long, and just because I have another commitment, but really today's purpose is just to reacquaint myself with you guys, especially to my new people coming in. For those of you who are new, my name is Ebony. My real government name. I know I've gone by Nikki for so long. I answer to both. And I am a retired homeschool mama. I homeschooled for 15 years. I have 3 boys, 3 teens, and it was a whirlwind. And I started making YouTube videos about 6 or 7 years ago, about our process, our journey, and then it turned into other things. So now I just kind of give you guys advice, and I share my stories and my curriculum reviews and things like that because I know you guys like that. Also, quick plug, I am author of an Amazon best-selling book, and I'll talk about that on the end of this video. And then I also have an 8-book series, pocket-sized series. This is just an author's copy, very small, for you guys. And we'll talk about that probably another day. But today I just want to find out what's going on with everybody, because as a former homeschooling mom, I know what October and November is. And that is burnout season, baby. I know that time oh so well. And if you are here because you are going through burnout, for some of you, burnout happened after the first week of homeschooling, if we're being honest. But you're in good company. You're in good company. So we will get started. So this video, I'm going to divide it into 3 sections. Okay. So the first section, I'm going to be talking about what burnout can look like. For a lot of us, we are looking for something specific, something stereotypical, and that will get us in trouble. And I'll come back to that in a minute. The second section is going to be how it kind of manifests, like how it happens. Is it, a whole bunch of bad things happening and now you find yourself in a burnout? Or is it like a slow trickle kind of thing? So how does this burnout really happen? Okay. The first section is, this is what it is. Second section is, how did we get here? And the third section is, well, what do we do about it? So I'm going to try to touch on those 3 things pretty quickly and lightly. And then as we move forward through the year, I will go more in depth, because for some of you, you need a lot more hand holding. So let's talk about what homeschool burnout actually looks like. And as you come in, Oh my goodness, you guys know I'm so rusty on this. If you're my veteran, let me just take a quick poll. I don't care about YouTube algorithms and saying all the SEO words in the first 5 minutes. If you are a veteran, you've been following me, you know what I am about to grab. You know what? If someone gets it right, I will send you a free digital copy of my book. I just want to see who's with me. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know what I am about to grab, what I have in all my videos. Quick, the first person that love for all got it. Yep, I'm about to grab. Oh, you changed your avatar too. I'm about to grab my bell. Hold on, y'all. So I got all right. I got the cute, dainty, feminine Southern bell. And I have my big I'm gonna get you sucker chakra green bell. Okay. So and it's very loud. All right. So I'm gonna tie the bells into this. So section one, number one. What does burnout actually look like? Okay. Now, when I do my videos, as I've done my videos in the past, I always tell you guys what is a win. And as a matter of fact, let's do it now. I want you to think of your wins and put them in the chat. Or if you're watching the replay, put it in the comment section. What's a win that you've had today, last week, last couple of months? Put that win in the comment section because I want to see what you think a win is. And the reason why I do this is because now I'm gonna do one more. Love for all. Make sure I think I have your information, but make sure I get your information so I can send you the copy of the book. But I'll do another one. If you know the second thing I'm going to grab, put it in the chat. I know some of you guys are like, Ebony, will you get to it? I'm getting to this. All of this is intentional. If you know what I'm going to grab, I already got your book, The Bell. Oh, thank you, baby. All right. Who knows what I'm about to grab? There's two things I always show you guys. The bell, so you know, so we can ring the bell for your wins. What's the other thing that I always grab? Anybody? I'm about to grab it. Nobody wants to win something for free? All right. All right. Don't worry, y'all. We're starting messy today, okay? We're starting messy. You know I'm grabbing my favorite book of all time, okay? I got two of them. One's for my other son. Hardback. Whatever, get out of here. So, Nikki, what does this have to do with what burnout looks like, okay? Yes, Plan to Change, the book. I always show this book. Now, what does burnout mean? So, burnout, let me just give you some examples. And then as you guys come in, you can also put in the wins that you've had, okay? So, burnouts, you think, oh, it's something egregious that your kids did or something that happened to you. It could just be your printer ran out of ink in the middle of an assignment that you needed to print out. It could look like you're starting math and then it's looking kind of shaky and you're like, let's just call this a life skills day and go unload the dishwasher, do chores around the house, work on your character skills. Okay. These are little microaggressions of burnout. Okay. It's just, I'm sure what I'm doing. It's just, hi, I'm here. Okay. It's not banging with a hammer. It's just got like a little pen just banging. Okay. Burnout. You're looking at your child's handwriting and you're like, I can't grade this assignment because I have no idea what hieroglyphics look like or what it means because the handwriting is atrocious, right? If they're even still writing, you constantly say, oh, we'll make it up next week. We'll catch up next week. And then next week, and it's the end of the school year. And you never got past chapter 3 in your writing book. Right? So those are all kind of little burnout signs. Maybe you have a number of kids, 3, 4, 5, 200 kids, and you haven't been grading their work to see how they're doing. And you're looking around and you have like 37 assignments just sitting there just waiting for you to grade them. All of these things add up. They compound, like compound interest. And then you have a big tsunami and you wonder how you got there. So, this is why I want to talk about what it looks like and why I bring the bells in, because when you're going through all of these scenarios, these little small microaggressions of, and I shouldn't say aggression, but for lack of a better word, aggression, um, you forget the little wins that you have. You have those little burglars of your sanity, and then you have the little wins to help put the burglars back where they belong. Okay. So when we're talking about little wins, for example, love for all. And love for all, when are you going to come on the live stream and talk to us? You've been around here forever. We can learn from your wisdom. But Love for All says, my win is staying on top of my planning and not trying to be anal about something not getting done. Hallelujah. You know what? I think you deserve the big bell for that, because that's a huge win. It looks small because it's like it's abstract. You don't see anything, but it's very big because it's a growth mindset win. And when we're talking about a growth mindset, that is eliminating those doubts, those beliefs that you can't do something, or if you do it, it's not going to be well, or it's just not in you. You're not that kind of person, or you don't. All of those things that are fixed mindsets. The growth mindset says, I'm going to try. I'm going to do a little bit. I'm going to do maybe 1% a day, but I'm in this game. Okay. So planning, do you know how, and I'm so glad you said that, Love for All, and we didn't conspire. Planning is by far, and I stand on this, planning is the biggest pitfall or obstacle. Like, hold on, let me get acclimated. Is the biggest pitfall for, you're shy, girl. You don't have to show your face. You can do, I'm talking to Love for All. She doesn't want to come a picture of not you. But planning, I'm going to talk to you later about that. But planning is the biggest pitfall or stumbling block or sanity stealer for homeschoolers. That in my 8-book mini series, my pocket guide series, this is number one. I didn't even start with getting started with homeschooling. That wasn't even my number one. That's not even the first book in the series. It's lesson planning. Lesson planning. This is a proof copy. That's why I have an ugly gray bar on it. Thanks, Amazon KDP. But lesson planning trips everybody up, because everybody thinks we have to do this, and no one knows really how to do it. So when you're thinking about the burnout, the wins you have to really focus on. So let me give you some examples of wins. Hold on. Plan to Change has a win. I'm telling you guys, we're starting messy. I'm all over the place, but that's okay, because I'm here. You're here. Just like when you go homeschool tomorrow or the next time, you're starting messy. You just keep going, okay, until you get to the end of the day. So Plan to Change now says, another win. I've made some novel studies. Oh, let me see those. I can probably, if you made them, let me see them so I can maybe do a review. Anyway, I've made some novel studies and actually selling on TPT. I created them for my 8th grader. You know what? If I turn this upside down, it's going to be really loud, but this is warranted. Congratulations. You guys put a clap hand emoji in that in the chat for Plan to Change. That is beautiful. I love that. And that is taking charge of your homeschool. It is making a bespoke or custom curriculum or lesson plan for your child, and then feeling confident enough about it to show it to the world, and not just show it to the world, to charge the world for it. So if you're okay, Plan to Change, I know your real name. If you're okay, I think you can put links in the comment section. If not, do it after the video is over and put the link in, or DM me and I can put it in the post, the community post. But if you're comfortable sharing your teachers pay teachers, that's what TPT stands for. If you're comfortable sharing your TPT link for your store, please do that. Absolutely. And for those of you who do have skills, you have books, you have whatever that's homeschool related, or if you're a business person, just send me an email, homeschoolknockouts@gmail.com, and let me know. And if you want to come on, that's an option as well. Okay. So, congratulations. That's a huge win. Now, you see, that's a huge win because she produced something that's tangible, you can see. But an abstract win that you can't see is maybe your child did 4 math problems and actually understood before then, things didn't happen, but that's a win that they were able to get through those problems. Or your child was able to write a paragraph and not crumble. Okay. Another win, these are small wins, is you didn't really have fights with your kids until after lunch. Or maybe if you did, it wasn't as bad as it usually is. Or your child got up when you told them to get up. You have to look at these small wins. That's why I always say put your wins in so other parents can see what that looks like. So, the burnout, what it really looks like, you need to see different examples of it and not think, oh, I can't be going through burnout because this is not happening. Meanwhile, you're crumbling inside. Okay. So, these are the 2 things I want you to take away. One, the many phases of burnout. Think small. The burnout creeps on you. And then when you're thinking about the wins, what you're actually doing, well, actually, that's going to be part of the reset. But just, I want you to think about what that burnout looks like. Okay. Any questions so far? Finger red, number 1. Oh, okay. All right. Any questions so far on burnout? Is anyone going through burnout now? Because I know when I was homeschooling, right right around Halloween is when the burnout really starts to kick in. Why? If you start homeschooling on a traditional public school schedule calendar, which is August or maybe after Labor Day, you've had all of September, maybe half of August, but definitely all of September, and then most of October. That gives you about 4 to 6 weeks to have curriculum, to use the curriculum to see if it's working, if it's not working, if you need to change things up. Maybe your children might be in online classes or co-ops. So, are there issues with kids in the class or friends or other moms? That gives you the time to, get in, see if things are a fit, see if things aren't a fit. And if you're in a situation where your curriculum is not working, the parents you're around, the homeschool parents, you don't really like, or maybe your kids don't like the other kids around them, it snowballs. And kind of around the middle of October, definitely by the end of October, you kind of really had it, right? So that's when that burnout really starts to take hold, because the newness of the school year has evaporated. All the curriculum that was nice and shiny, you probably can't stand. You probably can't even find most of it, or it's got food stains or whatever on it. So by the time October comes, you're probably rethinking your life choices. So the reason why I want you to think, I know I sound like a broken record, but I really want you to think about, how am I feeling this burnout? Is it um, because I have to be in the house all day with my kids, and as an educator, and I'm in the house all day as a mom, cleaning, doing laundry, and then I'm in the house all day, just like, those stressors, they add up. It is a pressure cooker. Okay. So that is another big reason for the burnout. So what are we going to do about it? Okay. And if anybody wants to jump in with their burnout little testimonials or other things that is like a clear indicator of burnout, go ahead and put that in the chat. Like Love for All, burnout can seem like a failure also. Oh, thank you. As a matter of fact, I need to stick to my notes, because I said this will be an hour, and y'all know I always talk for like a minimum of an hour and a half. So let me just follow my notes. Okay. All right. Following my notes. So the failure part, that's another thing, because when we talk, okay, I always give this story. You feel like a failure. What do you think your kids feel like? Now, my youngest one hated writing. Y'all know I always tell this story. And his fine motor skills were very, very weak. And when he would write, his handwriting would be so bad. And then he would get to like one sentence and then he'll be like doing this. And I thought he was just playing and just trying to get out of writing. And then I realized when I kind of assessed him, like he really doesn't have muscular or hand endurance. So fine motor skills, the endurance, muscular endurance to write more than a sentence, right? There's a lot of hand-eye coordination going on with your child, in addition to them holding the writing instrument and then getting the words across the page. And so we had to go atomic level with his writing. And so each day he did one word, but it had to be the best word ever. And even if it was the letter A in the sentence, had to be the best A. And then I would have him do like maybe 10 times just because it was like one letter, but it was that letter, right? And he was like, "Are you kidding me? This is easy. This is stupid, mom." But he did it. And at the end of the week, I made the sentence and it was like a 5-word sentence. He could do it. It was still a little rough. And then the following week, it was another sentence, a little bit more. You have to do 2 words a day. But it was so micro, so tiny, and they were wins for him because his confidence was already here because I said 1 word a day. So his confidence went from, this is stupid, I can't do it, I hate writing, to what? Just 1 word, that's easy. So it was a total mind shift just like that. I knew he could do it. But after 3 words, he would crumble. We started with 1 word. So we built that tiny win. Every day I would put a little stamp above, the word, and I would pick out the best one. Then he would pick out the best one, and then we would be like, okay, which one do we think was the best one? And we would see who was like, if we got the same word right. Like, oh, you thought the letter the word the was the best one. This one, oh, me too. Boom, we both stamp it. So we made it a game, but the whole point was to get him re-excited about writing and to build his confidence. But it was like just micro every little day. He had to have a win every day. So what I'm telling you, when you're trying to find wins in your homeschool, you might think that's a failure. Oh my God, you can't write a sentence? That sounds like a failure. But if you flip it and say, well, let's take that and see how we can make that into a win. So you take that failure, analyze it. Say for math, your child is struggling with multiplications, maybe the 6s or the 8s. I've always struggled with 8s. Even now, I have to mentally do the 8s in my head. And you see your child, or you might think, oh, you're a failure. We've been doing 8s for like 2 weeks, right? So flip that, take that failure that you think is a failure, and then flip it into a win. And I always talk about these books and I never set them out. Okay, we'll talk about these books on another video. I have Carol Dweck's Mindset, and I have Joe Bowler's Mathematical Mindsets, and those warrant further dives because it works with your growth mindset and then the failure we feel in life or in mathematics and how you can switch that up. But for you and for your child, and thank you for Love for All for saying this about the failure, is we feel, and this is part of the burnout, that we're our child's teacher. So anything your child is not doing well is a direct reflection on us, right? And so that is a microaggression on our psyche, and that leads to burnout. Okay. But also for your children, they can feel that kind of burnout too. Kids do get burnout. And so when we take what we perceive as failure, I got to get this book because the whole point here it is. Hold on. I got one of them. I got 2. Oh my gosh. We are definitely having a book club. I'm gonna talk about Margaret Collins later, but this has to be an hour video. But mindset, right? Mindset. Now the mathematical one is way at the top. I don't know why, but it's there. So all of these failures we think we have, if we just flipped it and say, okay, well, how can I get better 1% a day? So the eights, the timetables with eights. Okay. I know my child needs something that's hands-on to learn, or my child is a visual learner or an auditory learner, whatever kind of learning your child does. Let's do a little bite-sized amount every day so my child can have a win, so I can have a win, so we can have a win. So I know I'm long-winded on that, but failure is really an opportunity for you to rebound and be great. So there's a saying that failure is just a chance um, I forget what the saying is. You guys probably know it, but failure is good. Failure means you are trying, and that is a win. Now, what are you going to do with the trying? If you're trying and it's not meeting that standard, you keep trying and you make adjustments along the way. That's for another video. But those are some of the scenarios, some of the signs to know that you're in burnout. Okay, it's not going to hit you over the head. Most times it sneaks up on you, and then you have a mental breakdown in the middle of Kroger's dairy aisle. We don't want that. All right, so part two, almost 30 minutes in. Part two. Now, some people will say this video is a failure right now because I'm all over the place, but I don't care. All right, so there are three main reasons why this happens. Okay, now Love for All said the failure part, right? Another big one is decision. Let me start with this one. Unrealistic expectations. You have 4 kids. Why are you trying to do all of the hardest teacher intensive curriculum out there on the market? And I mean where you have to prep 30 minutes to an hour for each subject, and you got 4 kids at all different grade levels, and you have to, none of it is independent. It's parents have to, not only do you have to prep the materials, you actually have to be there to teach the materials, not independent learning. So you're setting yourself you're setting yourself up to fail because you don't have a fighting chance to do all of that because you can't clone yourself just yet. So you have to set realistic expectations. Now, that's an obvious unrealistic one. A lot of times our expectations, what we think we can do, is on the cusp of this doable if I put a little elbow grease in it, and maybe I should just wait until after my surgery. Or maybe I should wait until after my mom and grandma leave the house because they've been here for like a month. Okay. So sometimes it's a matter of where are you placing those goals? They're still good goals. Maybe the timing is off. So unrealistic expectations. Okay. You don't want to start off with your homeschool looking like Martha Stewart, and then at the end of the week, it ends up looking like Sanford and Son in the junkyard because you just have too much to go burn. Mainly happens when we have those unrealistic expectations, looking at things as a total failure without a way to flip it and turn it into a win, a small win. And then, and this has been my problem, decision fatigue. I have this in my daily life, actually, decision fatigue, because I have lots of kids, I have a marriage, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, and and I'm a friend, and there are always decisions to make. A lot of times, well, you know how they say you're exposed to like something crazy, like 5 or 6,000 um, uh units, I don't know how they say it or quantify it, about 5,000 commercials or ads or something in one day. And it could be anything from what you see on TV, on your phone, the billboards outside, just the signs in front of stores, things on people's cars, the little stickers, things like that. It's like in the thousands what we're exposed to every day. And those are just small little bombardments. Decision fatigue is like that. You've got 400 micro decisions to make before 10 o'clock, whether it's dealing with your kids. Okay, something's not working. I have to figure out, who do I call? I have to plan what time because we have this going on. You have so many decisions, and that really will wear you down. Let me see. Love for All says, I ask my daughter weekly how she feels about how school is flowing. I like that. How school is flowing, to make sure she's not burnt out. I think it's important for parents to keep up with their child's mental status. Oh my gosh, absolutely. And that is going to be, now I made a video on self-care for the mom, and I'm going to make a follow-up video for your child, because my children all have had to have mental health days, especially as they get older, and they're dealing with the stressors of just not just being teens in school, but just things that are going on in the world right now. Right now, a lot of things are happening, and families are, feeling the pinch. It's a lot of uncertainty going on. And so if you're not checking in, which goes to how we reset, if you're not always constantly checking in with your kids, things slip through the cracks little by little. Those are the little microaggressions I was talking about. Okay. Your kid gets burnt out. And in turn, your child's burnout becomes your burnout because of all of these things. They just add up. So, we're going to get to, like, what are some solutions to get you up and going, and to start fresh. Okay. Actually, there were four main things on why this happens. So the fourth one is a lack of separation. And I hinted at this earlier, but and even I still feel this, and I've been retired from homeschooling for 2 years. It is your house, your job, your kids' school. Everything is in one spot, right there in your house. And if you don't have friends, if you don't have hobbies, if you don't have anything to engage your attention outside of the home, it can become a prison for you and for your children. So, and that really will just, it'll just shoot you up to the top of the mountain on the burnout factor. Even I feel that. I was feeling that in September because I work from home. Now, while my kids go to school outside the house, I'm still in the house, and I have to make an effort to get out the house. And that's with my kids already out the house. So it was worse when I had all my kids in the house. And I had to really make sure we planned activities outside of the house almost every day. So all of these things happen. And so I want you to think about some of those situations. How does that apply to you? Do you have decision fatigue? Do you have unrealistic expectations? Do you have a lack of separation? Do you get out the house? And how are you? What is your perspective on failing, what you perceive to be failing? Okay. So these are all whys and how the burnout happens. And then you've seen examples of what that looks like. So does anyone have any questions so far? Now, what I'm going to do, and I said this before, but I didn't do it. But now I'm fully back into homeschooling, at least for teaching. And so I'll have these lives, and then I'll make, because I know my lives are long, I'll make recorded videos, like maybe 10 minutes max. And I'll just have, like, bullet points, just everything, boom, boom, boom. So you can just get your information and then go on about your day versus having to sift through an hour and a half live. So keep that in mind. All right. So what are we gonna do about it? All right. You're like, all right, girl, I know I'm in burnout mode. What am I gonna do for November and December? Get me to the Christmas holidays or the winter holidays. What are we gonna do? All right. Now, I am a big proponent of proclamations. I will be the first to say, like, number one, in December, my birthday's in December, and I always get shorted because I'm a week before Christmas, right? And I say, you know what? All of December is my birthday month. And I make that proclamation 11:59.59 seconds on November 31st or November 30th. How many days are in November? So I am a big proponent of putting the label up. This is what's going on. So I say declare a burnout week. You don't have to call it burnout week. You can call it rejuvenation, genius week. You can be catchy, you can be tongue-in-cheek, you can be serious. I don't care. Have that week, okay? And make it a real week. You won't have buy-in from anybody if you're half stumbling through it. Where's my hand cream? My hands are dry. My hand cream. Y'all, my hands are dry. I can't talk. My hands are dry. I'm sorry. I'm a Southern. Oh, here we go. I'm a Southern woman. Always have to have hand cream nearby. So, what does burnout week look like? Now, I'm not saying what you need to do, but for me and what I have done, and I prep for it too, I look forward to burnout week, or whatever you want to call it. No curriculum, no new curriculum. Now, if your kids have something that they really like and they're good at it, or they're either good and they like it, or they do both, excellent. They can do that. But definitely don't you dare bring anything new into the house at all. No new curriculum, okay? The curriculum that is troubling anybody, it's on the shelf. It's burnout week, right? Or it's a new growth. Like I got this new growth up here. It's new growth week, right? We're regrowing our mindset. No new curriculum or no problem curriculum or curriculum that is giving you issues, right? No guilt. And I mean that. No, oh my gosh, look, I've been going strong since last night. No guilt. Like right now, my kitchen floors are disgusting. I'm so embarrassed. I won't even let my kids' friends come in. You know, kids don't care, and the boys too. I won't even let them come in because the baseboards. And you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to have guilt about that because I actually need my mental break week, which is going to be next week. Because, baby, if you knew what was going on the last 2 weeks of my life, oh my goodness. I'm telling you, parenthood is hard. It's really hard, especially when you have almost adults. The stakes are higher, right? Storage for another week. No new curriculum. Get rid of problem curriculum. No guilt. Rest. Okay. I can't stress that enough. Rest. And then while you're resting, with no guilt that you are resting, you reset. Okay. Now, this is what, let me see if I have it here. Now, this is a trick. And I probably talked about this in one of my lives like years ago, because I need to start rewatching my lives because I drop a lot of jewels and stuff and things I do, but then I don't put it in the recorded videos. And so I don't really want to watch 2-3 hour videos, but this is what I used to do. All right, let me see if I have my stickies around here. Now, when I'm at the end of my rope, I shouldn't say rope because I'm black. At the end, when I'm on the brink, when I'm at the edge of the ledge, right? I use what I call my sticky system, right? And I use a bigger one, but, oh, here we go. I've always found, now I grew up in the military, and one thing my daddy used to say, may he rest in power, is being organized saves money, time, and lives. And he's right. When you're organized, you're not rebuying peanut butter for the house. Like somebody in my house, we got 7 big things of peanut butter because you didn't look at the thing because it's supposed to be organized. You just write down what's missing, and then you don't have to do repeat buys, duplicate buys. Okay. If you're organized and you look, you see what's needed and what's not needed. But we have a little place to the command center. Okay, we'll leave that one alone. So you're organized. You don't do duplicate buys because you know what you have, right? Or what you don't have. When you're organized, you don't double pay your kids' soccer fees because you're like, did I pay that soccer fee 2 months ago? Okay. When you're organized and your child has a peanut allergy, you know where the EpiPen is or the thing that they need because you're organized, right? That can save your child's life. When you're organized, you can get out the house faster because maybe everything was done the night before. So all you have to do is just grab your stuff and go because you're organized. But if you're doing everything last minute, you're probably going to be late to school for the 5th time, and now you have detention. I'm looking at my youngest child. Okay. So being organized saves time, money, and people, lives. Okay. Now, because of that, my dad was always, he's a Marine, simplify. Make it very simple. Okay, very simple. Now, I have, let me tell you, let me blow the hood on this real quick, y'all. I am not, those hardcore planners, happy planners, Erin Condren, God bless all those people, because it's so fun to look at their stuff. It's so pretty and organized. I got this planner. I got 4 more. When I'm in the thick of it, child, I use this to homeschool. This is my planner. Literally, look here. It's my planner. That's all I use. No real planners, but this, okay? You can go to, they even sell these at the dollar store. This is my biggest secret, okay? And I do what's called a top 3. That I learned this years ago from Erin White. She had a different name before, but it's like branding with Erin. I forget. Young, beautiful young lady. She's a mom now. And she got this philosophy from someone, I forget. I know it's a big thing. Your top 3. What are the top 3 things you need to get done today? That's your priority. And that goes on the sticky for each child. And then if it's a good sticky, don't get old stickies that are like 5 years old and the adhesive is no longer good. And I don't care. You put it on the refrigerator. You put the stickies on the refrigerator, on your bathroom mirror, on the dashboard of your car, whatever. But the stickies travel with you. If they need to go from room to room because you homeschool all over the place, it goes. But you write that down. I call that the 3, 2, 1 reset. You have 3 priorities, right? 3 priorities. Out of those 3 priorities related to homeschool, those 3 subjects, your priorities, 2, make it your core. And then 1 is the fun thing. Okay. So you take the 3, then you go down to the 2. We focus on the 2. And then the 1 priority, I just said it backwards. And then the 1 at the end is your win. So you focus on your 3 core subjects, your 2 fun things, maybe 1 fun, maybe 1 educational, or maybe you do like a co-op or soccer or something like that. And then that's your 1 win. Okay. All of that, if you focus on that, gives you your 1 win. And then you just rinse and repeat. It's a 3, 2, 1 reset. Okay. And I wrote a book about that. It's not ready yet. Okay. But that will pull you out the mud. It's easy. If you don't have stickies, an index card. And the whole point is you want it to be something small. Okay. Because you don't want to be overwhelmed. Don't go with a big old 8x11. Get something small. If you want to go micro, because that's how you're feeling, go micro. Go micro. Let me see these comments. I love my sticky notes. You know what I'm talking about. I stick them all over my laptop. I got them right here too. I got them sitting right here. I would show you, but then I might be showing you all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to show you because I'm not kidding. I have a couple of monitors. I'm about to take a picture. I am not kidding. All right. Let's see if y'all can see that. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I didn't put anything incriminating. Okay, no. See? Wait, you can't really see it. That's my monitor. Stickies. That's on, and it's on that side so I can see the rest of the screen. But I am a firm believer in stickies. Planners are great. But right now, we're just trying to get things done. We're trying to get out of burnout season and reset. So use stickies. You can do vertical 1, landscape, stickies. Okay, so that's what you can do for your burnout week, okay? Get Use stickies. Okay. Micro wins. That's why I always say, guys, come on in. Tell us where you are in this part of the hemisphere or the world, and tell us your wins. When you understand what a micro win looks like, you start to look for it, and then you start to cultivate it, and then you get more patience, because now you're not looking at your child as, oh, she cannot write a sentence. Her cursive is awful. She can't. Your child, her reading, all of that is falls to the wayside because you're looking at a small micro win. Okay. Now, you know what? Oh, I'm being channeled. I need a video on, hold on, my paper is hiding my pens. A video on what do micro wins look like? Because I say that a lot and people don't know really what do micro wins look like. It's like when they tell you, read a book. A lot of times people don't know how to read a book. Hold on, let me get on my soapbox. Do you know how many times I have counseled or taught parents how to teach their kids not how to read, but for them, and I don't mean like reading to learn, I mean like literature, how to read literature like a professor for kids. And then I have another book, Milton something, on how to teach learning. We take that for granted. You don't know how to learn. How do you learn? What does that look like? It's so abstract. How to learn. I got to get that video out. How to learn. So, of course, we have burnout because no one really taught us these abstract. I'm trying to see if I have the book. No one taught us these abstract concepts. I got to, I'm so ready to reorganize all my bookshelves. All right. But anyway, micro wins. Identify those micro wins, okay? Do one thing that reminds you why you chose to homeschool. Is it because the school down the street wanted to treat your child like a criminal? Was it bullying? Were the expectations too low? Were they way too high? Does your child need more time? Maybe you just never went to public school or private school in the first place. You just wanted to be the sole influence on your kids. Whatever it is, remind yourself in a micro way, why you're doing this. Maybe you love just cuddling up with your kids and doing read alouds. For me, it was doing current affairs. We would gather around and we would talk current affairs, pull some things from YouTube. I'm like, quick, go find 2 videos that are interesting to you and we'll talk about it. And then we go around, I have like 12 maps. This is for one of my books, but we'll have a big roll map. And then I would have map pins. I said, go stick a pin in it. And I'll tell you everything you wanted to know about it. And what I don't know, we'll go research. But that was for us. Those were little micro wins, right? But I love that. That gave me my adrenaline shot for homeschooling. And I had to have that. And that really, it was like working out. It set my day up first. And best believe that was the first thing we would do in the morning, because that set the tone for everything. And if everything went to ish, I had that to fall back on. All right. So we have your burnout week. You're going to do that. Okay. And then you're going to have your micro win. That's 2. And then 3, you're going to outsource your sanity, whether that's classes through OutSchool, online G3, PA homeschoolers, wherever your kid is, they're not in front of you learning. Outsource it, okay? Maybe you don't want to do core subjects this semester or this year. Maybe you don't want to do foreign language or science. That was me, right? Outsource it and be done. No guilt, no nothing. If funds are going to be an issue, start saving so you can look forward to maybe the following semester of outsourcing. Now we get into planning, right? So maybe in this summer or even now, you can start planning. Okay, I'm gonna struggle. I'm gonna get through this year. Next year, I'm gonna get them in some classes. You start putting a little bit aside that you can. Okay. But if you can't get into classes because money might be an issue or timing might be an issue, YouTube will be your best friend. And you know what? Now this needs to be a collaborative effort of YouTube University by grade level and by subject. My son, my oldest son who's in college, when he was doing his AP classes, oh my gosh, we found some of the best teachers that were better than his teachers in school. And I never forget A-Push. If anyone did AP US history, that guy, oh my goodness, I was sitting out watching the AP stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this is good. Don't sleep on YouTube. Let's see, YouTube resources, YouTube University, YouTube K-12. That way I know. Okay. And then and you can make playlists. So make your playlist. Maybe do it by your kids' names, and then one where it's all the kids together, or you can do it by subject. Personally, I do it by each kid because I know what their likes are and what they need work on. And then I would have 4 playlists: child 1, child 2, child 3, all of them. And all of them would just be just documentaries, things that they can all watch together, right? Fun stuff. When we needed a mental health break day, or just a down day, or just, a day to take in a different way of learning, I would have that playlist ready to go. Our number one resource, oh, I still have to do this, was The Fall of Civilizations. For history, oh my goodness, amazing. No matter what your faith is or what you think about the history, the age of, Earth, whatever that, they are so well put together and so well written. Everybody can benefit from it. And it's a big playlist. So The Fall of Civilizations, I will be doing a review. Okay, review these. Okay, let's see. Catch up on some comments. Okay, love this. I'm a planner mama. I'm going to use this. The sticky thing, plan to change. And then, like, for those of you who are hardcore planners, like my sister's going to a planner conference in Chicago. I think it's this week. You got like nice you got the washi tape, and which I do have washi tape. Look here. I'm an honorary planner, but you see, I haven't used it. It's still in the cellophane thing, but it's nice. I mean, I have washi tape right here, but to each her own. But yes, so sticky notes, I'm sure love for all, you'll find a way to use your washi tape or your gel pens to put on the stickers. She says, yes, the sticky notes. I'm a huge decorative planner. Proud of you. I'm baby steps, micro steps for me. Micro steps. I stopped using those planners. I have a binder now with only the resources I need, and I use Trello. You know what? I've heard about Trello and Asana and all of those software planning programs, and I do more than that. And I'm committed during December to really, like for writers, there's a lot of stuff you can use for it. And so, because I have like a lot of works in progress, WIPs, and then the business side. And so many people have used them and just love them, because really I want to get off my big old 10-pound planners. They're pretty, but I probably won't, because I'm from the generation of pen and paper, so we'll see. But that's the plan. But yes, outsource for sanity. You got your co-ops, you got OutSchool, you have YouTube University. You know what? You got the doggone library. How about that? Walk your behind to the library. Maybe not the biggest public library, because government shut down. That's probably county is not federal, so your library should probably still be open. But let me tell you, as for a library, you guys don't. This is not your grandma's library. As a matter of fact, one of my books is in one library in Washington State. I don't know how, because I've been trying to get my main book in these libraries, because you can get them as an ebook. Oh, guys, listen, Any book you see on Barnes and Noble, you can basically get at the library. I'm not kidding. For free. So they have videos you can watch, you can check out, streaming services, magazines. A lot of it's digital. And then obviously the the um, the physical copies. But there is so much you can do educational wise with your child. And when I first started homeschooling, that was where we went every day. That's how we got out the house. So check out your local library. They are not your library from growing up. They have a lot going on. No, maybe your grandma or your auntie, they know something. Maybe they can get on a Zoom call or three-way, or they can kids happy and then the older person happy. Listen, here's a hack. Take your behind down to the old folks home. They're always neglected. A lot of them have I'm at 55 minutes. Y'all didn't tell me there's only 5 minutes left. Okay, let me rush through this. A lot of them have so much information and knowledge and experiences to share and no one to share it with. And baby, and some of them might even be millionaires too, might be putting their will. Send your kids down there. Let them listen and talk and help them out, help them stand. Let your kids see other people other than their age group. Okay. That's a story for another day. But those are how you can outsource the, slip. Okay. Um, okay. So we're talking about the reset. So we're talking about declare burnout week. Get the micro wins in. Outsource for your sanity. Permission slip. You can take a break without quitting. Think of it as a permission slip. It's adulting. It's not failure. Take a break. And I see a big lag on here. So I think my laptop might be overwhelmed. But so I'm going to start to wrap this up. But give yourself a permission slip. This goes back to the first thing about no guilt. Give yourself, if you have to, a physical permission slip that says, we're all going to take a break and do these other things. Okay. So I wanted it as an anchor, so that's important. Permission slip. And then finally, reassess. So while you're having this burnout week or this rejuvenation week, regrowth week, think about what's actually working. Are you doing too much? Is burning you out? Are you not doing too much? And that's burning you out because you're worrying about that. What's draining you? Is your system whacked out? Are you like overloading your days or your mornings? Do you need to take like one thing off the table and then go back to it next semester? Think about those things, okay? Because sometimes the best lesson really for your kids is to watch you take a break or a rest before you break. So remember, we're still modeling characteristics of being a good human. And what does that look like? So if your kids see you always stressed out, yelling, just a mess, they think that's okay. They might become that. But if they see, okay, mom is stressed out, this is bothering her, and look, she's addressing it. And that opens up a conversation to have with your children. Now, these are life skills, right? Another reason why we homeschool. So you can tell them, hey, you know what? This has been, really crazy week for us. We had this going on and that, and then, all of this. And I feel like so we can be the best versions of ourselves and really, we really want to take care of ourselves on the outside and inside. We're going to take a well needed during this time, and then we're going to come back revived. And let's see if that worked. And that's something that you guys can just keep doing until it might look messy the first time, maybe the second time, but maybe the third time, you guys know, okay, you know what? Break, and then you know what to do, and you got your tools and your all of the crutches to help you get through this reset. So think about that. So it's 1 minute left. I will be going back live on Monday. I think I will be live on Monday. But I will have recorded videos up this time, I promise. But I thank for all of you who have been around to the end. I thank you so much. I can't show the comments because my screen is frozen. Reality evolution. There is a whole community out there. Oh yeah, you guys are. I admire you guys. You guys, it's a whole universe. But I thank you so much. If you are interested in supporting your girl, I have my book, my Amazon best-selling book, When Life Gives You Homeschool Lesson Plans. I cannot believe this person is calling me, and I can't turn it off. Hold on. Homeschool lesson plans, and okay, now it's freezing my. Okay, um, it's realistic, practical, and funny information in here. I'll actually be going through my book with you guys probably next week or the following week, but it is absolutely the resource for lesson planning, teaching multiple kids, multiple grades, how to deal with burnout, how to discover your teaching personality, your child's learning personalities. There is so much in this. I will talk about this another day because I wanted to focus on you guys today. And listen, my win is I got on here kind of prepared, not sure what to expect because I've been really rusty. So I thank you guys for sticking it out with me. You guys are my diehards. Love for all. Please DM me homeschool knockouts at gmail.com so I can send you your free digital copy of the book. And oh, thank you, Plan to Change. She says, I can't wait for your other books. Yes, I will have a pre-order up by the end of next week, I think. And then I have a whole bunch of great sales and promos, special deals for you guys at the end of November. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am back. And I'm really, really back because all those 8 books are done. Well, the first draft for everything. So all I have to do is just like do some little quick little cleanups and then put them on Amazon and all the other online retailers. But now I can focus back on creating content for you guys. All right. I love you. I'll see you in a couple days. Have a great weekend. Bye bye. Oh, Love for All says she actually has my book already. Oh, thank you so much. Did you give me a review? I can I am I will beg for reviews. Absolutely. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.